just when you're a content creator, specifically the kind whose stuff revolves around music, your algorithm, or at least mine, is constantly pushing new bands in my face. So I thought I'd share some of the ones that have held my attention. One note, because I ain't trying to steal no thunder from the wings of people who make the world go round, like with their tunes, because I, and hell, any YouTuber who spews about music would be nothing without the bands. Because of that, every visual included is linked down in the description under the heading that says credit, like as opposed to playing their stuff here. And a small reminder, of course, that if you do end up checking them out on your own and you genuinely dig what you hear, if you're so inclined, you can always buy their physical product, or a shirt, vinyl, whatever if they got them. So alright mateys, let's kick this heavy metal puke party off with a fruity blend of death, crust, Powerviolence, and whatever else the kids are calling lunatic rock these days. From New Orleans, Louisiana, Herakleion. Let me tell you something, man. You press play on September's Necroverse EP, Song 1, What Is, Was, and Will Be Forever, and you kinda get a God of Emptiness, Morbid Angel feel. And that's what Herakleion are. They're a death metal band that, if you wanna call it old school sounding, I suppose you could, because people that like the classics like VADER, Malevolent Creation, USURPER, etc. should be pretty quickly able to embrace this band. Can I just say, I love the production on this Necroverse EP. It even kind of reminds me of Covenant a little, like it's the perfect amount of warmth that sounds nowhere near the extremely shiny and polished stuff of today. So you certainly feel like you're back in the 90s, but in case you're not the type that's big on demo quality, the studio they used made it sound like their major label debut on Warner Brothers. This is pretty David Vincent Morbid Angel. It's borderline, though only slightly, technical, but not in any shape that tech is today. I'm just talking about how it's very apparent that these kids are writing complex sections that can't be easy to play, so that's a testament to their playing ability. Alright, from the Boston area, featuring members of Final Gasp and others, new band, Knelt, with their 2025 demo titled Demo 2025. Are you the kind of Motorhead fan that also likes bands like Discharge, SKITSYSTEM, Tragedy, maybe DROPDEAD? Maybe you grew up in New England and you also like fuzzier stuff like Now Denial or Furnace. You get the point. Here is exactly that. It's fast, subversive, black and white crust that evades any trace of lame whatsoever. These songs are easy to listen to and easy to love. I got a feeling there might be some metalheads in the band too, because the second song, Faith Alone, has a blast near the end that it's really well placed. Meaning, like, it wasn't just thrown in somewhere for the sake of trying to get across that, yes, we too enjoy Mayhem, but simply because it worked for the song. I hope these lads hit the road sometime soon and I get to see them at Banditos or Cobra Cabana in Richmond. Maybe the National with Iron Reagan. Who knows? From Puerto de Guayama, Sonora, Mexico, Siniesta Maria, death metal sung in Espanol. As for sound, they probably like bands like Monstrosity, Benediction, KRISIUN, that type of flavor, and it comes out in their sound. Dude, check out this video, man. There is some serious heart and soul at play. Let me tell you why I think it's cool as hell. I'm pretty sure these dudes took this concept very seriously, and as a result, it came out in their acting. Now, this is a video that was totally right for one of those Six Slice Studios productions. Hayden Hall, the dude who's done stuff for DIPYGUS and TARTARUS HORDE. But although in the modern day, that stuff looks extremely retro and cool, actually getting that real cheap look can't be cheap at all. That stuff takes time to make it look all old and equipment. Instead, Siniesta Maria used what they had available to them, probably just iPhones, and came up with a presentation they're likely damn proud of, and should be. They ain't pretending to be nothing from days gone by or trying to make up with visuals for what they might lack in substance. No, no. Rather, the video takes second fiddle to the music, as it should, but certainly doesn't come up short in any way with what you see. So if you want something to crank that'll surely piss off the car next to you or the people downstairs, then Lycanthropo from Siniesta Maria's got you covered all the way home. Okay, from Skellefteå, Sweden, and featuring Vintersorg's Matthias Marklund on vocals comes Temple of Discord. Alright, this may sound a bit left field, but just hear me out. Take moments when Danzig dials it back a little from their usual fare. Think Violent Fire, Death Red Moon, End of Time maybe. Think bands like Imperial State Electric if they went a little darker. That's Nick Anderson from the HELLACOPTERS and Entombed. And you got a band that, no surprise, has a perfectly fitting home on Ripple. Hey, and you know what? Blackout the Sun even reminds me a little of I'm Gone, an absolute monster of a track off John Christ's solo album, Flesh Caffeine. This is the kind of stuff I wish would dominate the radio again, and like, if we're being realistic, they ain't putting Bathtub Shitter or Terrorizer on K-Rock or DC 101. They could, however, flood the airwaves with substance. And look, I don't even care if that makes me sound get off my lawn, because it's the difference between a one-of-a-kind versus an assembly line. This song, the other single they got out, The Reaper, which has a colossally hookish chorus, is music that the dudes in the movie The Stoned Age, and probably a lot of people here, would have loved just as much as in Blue Oyster Cult, even though this doesn't sound like that. But ultimately, it is pure, uncut rock with not even a single milligram of anything you'd be embarrassed to associate with. By that, I mean, because metalheads gotta protect their social standing as well, I'm saying that the badasses with the Demon System 13 or MDC patches that are also cool with Sabbath or Led Zeppelin would certainly be more than accepting a Temple of Discord. And I mean, of course, because Ripple's a label of purity anyway, so there you go. Alright, we are staying international and hopping east over to Russia to scope out a 2000s sounding death metal machine called Infiltration. You like bands like Misery Index, Yattering, remember them, Deeds of Flesh and the like? Well now, give each of them just a tad more rhythm. Not quite death and roll, certainly nothing core, but just an excellent production style that makes Point Blank Determination and Extinct two magnificent day clandestine and Wolverine blues sounding releases. And these songs should be enough to excite you for this year's forthcoming Socio Bastard full length. In short, if you can appreciate something beyond Seven Churches or the first couple Benediction albums, Infiltration will not disappoint. Just listen to Sniper's Creed off the Point Blank album, plunged into Decimation too, or Code Redded from Extinct, and you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. Alright, here is a Powerviolence band who hail from my town, Fredericksburg, Virginia, and they are called Lacking. The singer kind of reminds me of the dude from X-Files, like X-Files X, and that's not a huge jump from their sound, although you may also say they qualify as mincecore too, thank you Agathocles and Haggis. But what you got is some true classic DIY hardcore, but we're not talking about Madball, we're talking about the real brash, fastcore thing that devotees to the punk lifestyle love. Corporate Powerviolence is pretty well varied in terms of having its fast thing, but it's also occasionally got riffs that just sort of hang or ring out or do their own thing is the best way I can describe it, before going back into blasts and other chaotic shit. Lax music's certainly nothing new to anybody familiar with the style, but if you aren't, if you're a metalhead that's fine with Spaz or Charles Bronson, let's say, well hell, then I guess you are, you know, but there you go, this shreds just as much. You know what, if you like Nails as a biggie, it should follow that Lacking's right there alongside him. Don't forget your teeth on the way out. Alright mateys, I am done. A reminder that everything you saw here is linked below under the section that says credit, and all of these bands are truly fantastic with their output, so I wish them well on their journeys. And if you did like this video, cool, maybe you can give it a thumbs up. Or if you just like hearing somebody bullshit about heavy metal, then DIY your ass right into that subscribe button, and we'll see you next time on Concrete Spew, but until then, stay wild, my friends.